Welcome to Real Money Talks. Real strategies from the moneymakers and the world changers that you can use to make millions, keep those millions, multiply your wealth, and build your team. Here's your host, author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, money expert on Dr. Phil, CNN, CNBC, The Street TV, Fox News, and The View, Loral Langemeier.
So as you look at Chapter 3, these are the 3, I always get questioned on this, is rules of idea engagement. So here's the rules. You have to keep it simple. If you take your skill set and create a cash machine idea that's too complex, no one cares. Do not create something new. Hence the second one, the obstacle of original. Like, you don't want to be the original thing. There's a reason why people don't buy that. Like, a tutor's, at some level, I'm going to say this, a tutor's a tutor's a tutor, and there are going to be some nuances in that. A psychologist is a psychologist, a psychologist. A chiropractor is a chiropractor, a massage therapist is a massage therapist. Now, obviously, some of you have way better skill sets in that range, but the business is the business. People are buying it for a reason. So to spin off something that's totally unique and new, you are going to run into enormous obstacles in the marketplace. Number one, the marketplace doesn't know what it is. So now you've just put this barrier of having to educate people on all this newness. Like, people don't want to figure all that stuff out. So don't get too original. Don't get too complex. Keep it simple. What are people buying now? What's my skills? What do people buy? How can I match them up? Ask for money tomorrow, because your challenge is to make money. I don't care if it's $10. I want you to make some money in the next 7 days. So that would be, today is July 19th. By July 25th, you will all have made some money. I'm going to mark that on my little notes. By July 25th, you'll all have made some money. Okay, now, last one, supply and demand disconnect. Again, that goes to, like, right now, people who say, oh, I want to go buy land. I want to go be a home builder. Well, there's no one buying right now. In many markets, it's oversaturated. It will level itself out. I really don't believe we're in a massive real estate crisis. I think we're in a mortgage crisis that's causing the real estate markets to have to move drastically. All your 3-year, I won't even go there. But, we got all sorts of issues around that. Other supply and demand disconnects. Is there enough supply for the thing that you're going to offer? Is there enough demand for the thing you're going to offer? What do people want? Fill that niche. Again, if you couple these all together, keep it simple, do not create something that's so original that you've got to re-educate the marketplace, and make sure people want it. So there's lots of web tools, and we're going to be introducing you to some web and marketing teams as we go in the next 2 weeks. There's lots of free web tools where you can see what are people buying. Go to eBay. Do some searches on eBay. What are people buying? People want stuff. That stuff may not even occur to you, but you want to fill the niche that's already being asked, fill the niche that's already being demanded. Do not create too much original stuff. Action plan. Let's move to the action plan, Dawn. Again, this is to show you where we're going. Skills. Today we're on ideas. Next week, business plan. So pretty much we're going to follow this as we move through our weeks. You need to be creating this for yourself. Now, the reason I show this slide is I don't need anything much more sophisticated than this. All you need to do for your plan now to make immediate cash is to take this, print it off, and then do some bulleting underneath of it. So all you got to do is put some bullets. That's like as sexy as you need to go. You do not need these huge, elaborate business plans that, some of these software programs and some of these other, small business consulting kind of people are going to have you plan. You're going to spend thousands of dollars planning. You don't even know if it sells. What makes money now? Let's see. Let's go back into our book a little bit. Oh, my favorite slide is coming up. I need you in action. And this week we are pushing you. I need you to make a decision on your skill set. In fact, what a great call to have with your strategist. This is my skill set. This is my cash machine idea. So now we're locked. We know what we're doing. Because from here forward, we need you to be in action. So I need you to take your idea, take your cash machine. We're going to go make money in 7 days this week. And your action will create an experience. And, I want you to create this as a poster. For those of you who get paralyzed by movement, I need you to print this out. I need you to frame it. I need you to say, Loral said. You write it across the whole front of the glass that you frame this in. But your action, by being in action every day, And I'm going to pick on some people that were at the Blitz last weekend, because it was so interesting being at the Blitz. Behind the scene, all of us instructors are talking. We're saying, most of these people are either going to the cash machine in Washington, D.C., or they've been to the cash machine. So it's interesting that the energy in the room was very different, because in the Blitz it was very serious. Like, we were blitzing their plan. They're getting their wealth plan. They're getting a sequence. They're getting very organized, very serious, very intense, brilliant room we had last weekend. And what was interesting, I think, psychologically about that room that was different than the cash machine room is that in the 3 days of a cash machine workshop, we create a marketplace which demands that you stand eye to eye with somebody and make money. So the cash machine rooms have this kind of chaotic energy to them, where the Blitz rooms are very focused and intense. And I think the difference, and again, all of the speakers were talking behind the scenes, I think the difference is we push you to the max in the cash machine workshop, because by Sunday noon, you're standing eye to eye asking for money. At the Blitz, we're not forcing you to go out and make that money yet. You're just getting your plan done. But it's just an interesting note. And the reason I'm sharing this is because I want you to notice the actionable energy for yourself. When I say go get in action, do you get excited? Do you get nervous? Do you get paralyzed? Do you feel like hanging up this call? Like, what goes on? Because I need you to be excited about it. Physiologically, the adrenaline racing through your body that's causing any nervousness or excitement or whatever, you choose the attitude to have around it. Just like the pessimistic entrepreneur, you're going to choose to sit in that place. You're going to choose to be in a creative, what's possible place. I need you constantly throughout the day challenging your psychology to think about what's possible as you move forward in your action, because your action is going to create an experience. Now, that experience might not be very comfortable. Like, I was working with a woman who has a business. It's around kind of mortgages, I believe, and I know she's out there on the call. I told her I would start talking about this, and I would bet that it's a little side hobby. And the action I'm going to say for anyone who's in network marketing, who's in a sales kind of role where you have to go out and you have to present your thing, whether it's a mortgage product, it's a consolidation product, it's a credit repair product, it's a network marketing product, any of you who have a thing to sell, if you're not on at least 40 phone calls a day, like active phone calls, which is why you need a scheduler, not playing phone tag 40 times, being on a phone call, talking to another human. And if you're not on that phone by 8 in the morning, and you don't get off that phone until 6 at night, I think you're playing light, especially in the beginning. Somebody say, well, I have jobs. Right, so get up earlier, start calling your East Coast people. You do it at lunchtime and you do it after. Like, you have got to put this cash machine in your life, and you have to do it like you're a serious player. I mean, people don't become millionaires because they're casual. People become millionaires and make extra money because they're serious players. And if you have a bunch of casual people around you, trade up. Now, as you get out and you start making those calls, right, now you're in action, your experience might be negative. You could get 40 no's. And you know what? You need to frame that as this is no, not now, and no, not for them. But that doesn't mean no, you stop. So your experience is going to be positive or negative. It doesn't matter. The more you do what you're doing and the more you know you're going to make money, the more money comes, you now have evidence that something's working. So even if you've only built your cash machine to, say, $1,000 a month, you now have evidence that works. It's irrefutable evidence you have $1,000 extra a month in your cash machine checking account. You need to turn on more firepower. You need more team. You need more marketing. You need more sales. You need to get more serious about the game. Because what I know over time is as evidence, which is cash in your bank, shows up, your confidence, your certainty is going to go through the roof. So that's what we need to create. I need you to get in action, create an experience that is going to give you evidence, and that evidence is going to give you certainty and confidence, which now is going to give you new results in your life. So I need you to frame this, because I know this happens. And for most of you, you'll be in further action if you truly create more evidence to create more certainty. A lot of you, I'm sure, are sitting on the other side going, well, I'm just not sure it's going to work. Like, how many weeks are you going to allow yourself to sit in that position? You've got to move into more action, create more experience, which will create more evidence, which then creates more certainty. So let's move to page 65 in the book. And here is where I need you to start kind of knocking this down. So what are your goals for this week? You have one goal. You're going to write on the first line. You're going to print this out. You're going to say, my first goal is to make some money this week, and I want you to write down how many. And then what are the tasks for that goal? What's it going to take to get each of those goals done? So for those of you who are the planning types, go ahead getting into a little bit of this process so you get this handled. Those of you who aren't planners and big paperwork people, honestly, I don't care if you skip this part, because what I don't want to put in front of you at all ever is anything that could be a perceived obstacle of you creating more movement. So again, if this is helpful, use it. We have these forms, and we're going to take these forms independently, and we'll put them up as independent sheets. So I'm going to write that down as another note. We're going to put up the 120-day planning sheets. So you just write your goals, the tasks for each goal, week 1, week 2. We'll have this for those of you who this is helpful for. If this creates an obstacle and a procrastination, skip it. You don't get to do it. And for those of you who have not got an accountability partner yet, you have got to go get an accountability partner. Because what's going to be interesting if you're hanging out there solo is spinning around some of these activities and doing nothing. In fact, for those of you who are just at the Blitz, I asked you to get an accountability partner, somebody who you can call. Bring in this new learning, bring in this new activity, and have your daily check-ins with that accountability partner be, are you going to do 20-day wealth cycle plan? One of you may say yes, one of you may say no. There's no right answer. It's will it help you move is your only answer. If it's going to help you move forward, make money this week, then use the tool. If it doesn't, skip it. Okay? So new and other applications of the idea generation. You want to start looking for trends. You want to look for whispers. You want to look, I put on page 69, sources for ideas. Of course, the media. You're going to go to the media. You're going to look at web. You're going to look at pop culture. You're going to look at trade and research reports. Now, a lot of people miss this piece. There are trade journals on everything you do. Like there are places where culinary people meet. There are places where teachers and tutors meet. There are people where if you want to buy laundromat associations, they meet. They have conventions. I know I have some clients that own dry cleaners, and dry cleaning people meet. They go to an association. You say, well, what the heck do they talk about? They talk about what kind of soaps and technical tools and what kind of equipment they're buying. Believe me, these aren't like, for some of us, they're like, oh, yawn. Yeah, they're car wash associations. So don't forget that deep beneath the thing you choose is a trade association that supports that market, that supports that thing, that cash machine you're doing. I would think if you're serious players, like in the coaching industry, there's a coaching federation. In the writing world, there's writing workshops. There's marketing workshops, right? There's trade workshops, journal things you can subscribe to. And at the end of the day, as we get into this further, I'm going to ask you all to have joined them. And the reason is many of your answers are there. First of all, your model companies are there, but your pricing is there. Your bundling is there. Your additive resources are there. Like we actually market into trade journals of very specific markets that we want to attract as new customer bases. So, dentists have trade journals. Orthopedic surgeons have trade journals. Like everyone in every industry has a trade journal. Find your way to those sources. There's a lot of your business answers there. At the bottom of page 70, I mentioned a few other things. Business broker and listings. Business brokers know the marketplace. They know what's going on in your local area. Display ads, commercials, yellow pages. There's just, you say where, and taking field trips, page 72 at the top. Go visit things if you need to see them. If you're more kinesthetic, and that's the way you learn, go see them, work with them, partner with them. You have to take your idea or your skill set and make it an idea and commit it to a business this week. Like I'm really pushing you. You have to commit this week because we're moving on to new activities and you're going to get behind. And I do not want you dropping off because you did not make a decision. You can change your mind after this 8 weeks. Just play the game with me. But you got to play full out and you got to play committed. All right, skills you're going to learn as you earn. Now, this is really important, and this actually was noted more in Chapter 2, but it really kind of blends over Chapter 2, Chapter 3, because you're going to learn as you earn money. So you're going to do the thing you know how to do, and as you become an entrepreneur, these are your entrepreneur skills. You're going to learn more organization. Now, I'm not saying you're going to do the organization, but you're going to learn more organizational skills because you're going to hire an assistant that's going to actually show you how to organize around this. You're going to learn energy management. And some of you say, what is that? Now, I don't believe in time management. Time's time. It's 24/7. We all get the same worldwide. There's no advantage Trump has or Bill Gates has or anyone wealthy has over you. You just don't use your time you don't use your energy in the same way. So as you plan your day, for those of you who I mentioned out there that have businesses where you need to be on phone calls, you need to reroute your day. Like if you can, try to push your job so you're working, maybe 9 or 10 o'clock to 5 or 6 instead of early in the morning till mid-afternoon. Because if your best energy time is the morning, I need you focused on your cash machine, picking up that phone call, making those sales calls and marketing calls early in the morning. That's what I do. I focus on the highest, best use of my time early in the morning because it's my best energy time. Now, some of you might be night owls, and your best energy time might be between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m., and then re-rack your day. But you really need to manage your energy because the times that you have the highest, best focused energy needs to be the time you're doing the highest, best use of your good time. And reroute your day. Do not let that little part of your brain say, but I can't because Find the solution. Stop looking at the problem. Quantitative and qualitative analysis, you say, oh my gosh, what are those? You know what? Your finance team is going to teach you that. Your technical team is going to teach you that. But you are going to be learning entrepreneurial things. You're going to be learning communication. You're going to be learning team building because believe me, it's so funny when people say, yeah, I'm trying to hire an assistant, but they don't work. There's a theme here. If you've gone through 3 or 4, you're the common denominator. So what it is about you that's not working that allows somebody to stay attracted and want to work for you? So you're going to be learning some team and leadership skills. And above all, you have got to trust your intuition. There's a great book, and I give it to all of my mentoring groups as a homework to go read. It's called Practical Intuition by Laura Day. It's one of the best books on intuition. It gives you activities to do on a regular basis. It's a fabulous book. Please read it. You've got to trust your intuition because at the end of the day, you have to think, well, if I'm going to do a business deal with somebody else, and your attorneys and my attorneys have looked at it, your financial people and my financial people, like all I's are dotted, T's are crossed, it's looking like a great deal. At the end of the day, we're standing eye to eye, about ready to sign a contract. What's the last thing you do? You do what I call a gut check, right? It's an intuitive check. Does this feel right? Is this person the person I'm going to do this business with? And you have to learn to trust that intuitive part of you. If you have any glitches in there, you need to back away. You need to move away from that, design something different. So just kind of post these out there as things that you're going to be watching for. Again, you will be doing team building. You will be communicating. You will be more intuitive. You'll be managing your energy. Other people on your team will be supporting you to learn other entrepreneur skills. You're going to be really learning finance. I mean, you really will. You're going to be learning the marketing sales if you've never learned marketing and sales, which is why, given that you'll be learning this to be an entrepreneur, and some of you out there that are marketing sales oriented are going, oh my gosh, who's going to run my operation? That's your first teammate. I can promise you it is your first teammate. So learn to earn skills. Just pay attention to what you're learning. Do not get distracted and go overlearn that. Just stay on what it is you're going to do. Let's go make some money. Now, be on your business versus not in your business. Now, this is an interesting theory. The truth is you're going to be deep in your business in the beginning of a cash machine because you've never done it before. And I need you just to hold out there as a concept, as something to work on, that maybe in 1, 2, 3, 4 years, you'll be totally on your business, which means the decisions you make now, every time you make them, I want you to think, if I wasn't the one doing this activity, who would be doing it? Because as you grow your business, like I literally work on Live Out Loud. I am not day-to-day in Live Out Loud. In the beginning, I was in every department. I started every part. I was bootlegging it, which means I started it from scratch. I took the money that I made, and I built the department. I took the money I made. I got a new teammate. I mean, I know how to bootleg, start from scratch. Bootstrap, I guess, bootlegs around. Bootstrap any sort of business. I know how to do it. I know how to teach you how to do it. You have to consistently think, as I pull myself out, who needs to be the teammate in? As I pull myself out, who's the teammate in? You have to do that. So just, here's a fun activity that I give a lot of people. As you design and future pace your organization, design an organization chart without you in it. For those of you out there, this is probably a better activity for those of you who are already far down the path and already have, say, a $100,000 cash machine. Start designing your $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 cash machine without you in it, which gives you then more creative power to focus on additive things. Okay? Moving on to the next, you do have the ability to become a millionaire. So I know I've given a lot of content. As you head towards the end of Chapter 3, we're looking at your value and your vision. Of course, you need to align to that. You cannot be out of integrity to who you are. And for those of you who say, I hate the thing I'm doing, I need you to find a way to love it. And I know that as checks come in the mail, it's amazing how some people love the thing they said they hated when they can put money to it. So do what you know how to do. Let's make some money. Let's do it in 7 days. Do the action plans and some of these action sheets. If it supports you, don't do it if it doesn't. Work on expression of your power if your psychology is all bunched up around this. Get your building, leading, protecting done if that makes sense for you. And again, you're going to always hear me say, if it makes sense for you. Some of you just get on the phone and make some money. Go ask your neighbor next door to clean their house and make some money. Get your ego out of the way. This is about cash generation. Your ego can come back later. We want to make some money. So, Don, I know I've been talking for a long time. Let's do a few questions. I'm going to put in the word of the week, the secret phrase, in just a moment. But what are some questions out there that a lot of people have from chapters 1, 2, 3 at this point?
We have some great questions, starting off with Stanley, coming back to something you said earlier, Loral. What do you mean by future finance when you were talking about team earlier?
All right. Future finance means you're going to take the first money that you have or some money that you have around now, and you're going to finance. For example, right now you may say, boy, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. It's just getting by. I can't afford somebody to clean my house, or can't afford to get the scheduler who's going to make my phone calls and get me organized for phone calls. I can't afford some things. When you know that you know, this is the business, the cash machine you're going to run, then future finance means you're going to commit $400,000, $600,000 a month of new money to fund some teammates. Because the difference between you making that money and making it bigger is really having some teammates help. Instead of, like I said, making the 40 phone calls and hoping people are there, which is mostly phone tag, a scheduler would make sure that you have appointments. When you show up all day long, you're talking to somebody on a preset phone call. It's a scheduler. They're going to schedule your day. That is a very valuable person. Now, it might cost you $600, $700, $800 a month to have that person. I'm going to tell you future finance it, which means pay for it today knowing that the money you're going to make in the future will pay for that person, and they'll probably be full-time within 90 days. So fund it. Fund your success is what I mean by that. Okay, let's go to another question.
Fantastic. Tanya and Rick write, we love the tables you put on page 65 and 66, and that's the 120-day wealth cycle plan, right? 65 and 66. But what do we do if we are not sure how to break down the tasks for each week? How do we know we are doing the right tasks, especially if we disagree?
So if you're doing the cash machine together, then I would add them all. Because if you're beginners, I'll go this way. If you're beginners, I would get the best ideas that you have for the tasks that you know. I'd list them all, and then I'd prioritize them, and I divide and conquer. So if you disagree, maybe here's the truth. The truth is in the beginning you don't know. You don't know necessarily what's going to hit it off the charts. So I would divide and conquer the tasks and track your results, and at the end of the week it's going to be very clear which priorities, i.e. who made the money in the activity. So very clearly when you look at money as the result, right, as the end goal, marketing and sales and calling people and meeting with people, getting out of your house and out of that home office, down to the country clubs, the real estate offices, the title companies, the banks, and letting people know you're in business is your highest priority. So whether you like to do it or not, I don't care. You need to let people know you're in business or you will never get business, which means you'll never make money. So I would just say divide and conquer. Who cares who's right this next week? Do them all, but whoever makes the money, those are the top tasks.
Fantastic. Loral, Janice in Portland asks, if I still don't know what my cash machine will be, should I just pick something in order to go through these 8 weeks with the model cash machine, or should I wait until I figure out what my real cash machine will be?
No, you're going to call a strategist. Call them now. Email strategy@liveoutloud.com. Get a strategist now. Call our office, 8777-GET-LOL. Get on a phone call with the strategist now. They'll help you sort it out and pick a cash machine. I need you to work through this in a real way, not just wait and wait, because waiting is probably what you've always done. Pick something. Let's go for it. Another question.
All right, Terry in Maryland. I've always wanted to open a pizza place but have never owned or operated a restaurant. Would you rather I use my sales skills to do sales training or some other consulting first? And when can I look at doing the pizza shop?
When you know how to make six figures, when you can hit that $100,000 mark. So I would do sales training. I would go work on a sales floor. I would go make some money. And then with that money, start funding your pizza dream. But let's get some money in the door first versus plan because you've got to get location. You've got to get, believe me, you are 90 days, 3 months to 6 months minimum to open a pizza shop. If you don't have a location, if you don't have the money, if you don't have the equipment, you've got a ways to go to get that up and running. So let's just make some money doing what you do, very simple, not a lot of overhead. Let's get some cash in the door. At the $100,000 mark, you know how to make some money. Then let's start looking at something additional, the second cash machine.
Tracy,
one more question.
Okay, Tracy in Seattle says, I am like Betty, the jewelry designer, the example in the book. My goal is to sell $350 in jewelry at a local farmer's market. The problem is some days I make $500 and some days I make $50. Is there anything I can do to smooth out the roller coaster?
Keep doing it. Stay consistent. I would do additional marketing during your week. Sometimes, if it's a bad weather day, you're in a $50 day. So start looking at averages, start looking at packages, start looking at and here's one of the things I think, because I've gone to some of those little art fair things, is bring something that somebody can carry home for free. Bring a flyer, bring a website, bring something where if they don't want to order today, they can order later, and somehow create a way through a drawing or something, get addresses. You want to get the people who are walking by, you want their information, you want their name, you want their email, you want their phone number. Those are the only three things you need. And then so on the $50 days, you're going to start calling all those people back to generate the $350. So you've just got to create more ways to level that out. So stay consistent, push more on your marketing and your sales efforts, create a way where people can maybe have a drawing. We're going to give something away that allows people to give you their information so you can call them back. Do something. You got to get the information because you got to push on the sales. Now, it is time to give us, if you go to the next slide, the secret phrase. Now, you have to listen to the whole 60 minutes minimum. We're taking these calls obviously to see over 60 minutes. Last week we gave the word of the week. I'm not going to repeat it because you have to go listen to that tape to get that one if you haven't listened yet. The word for this week, secret phrase, is money magnet. Money magnet. By the end of this 8 weeks, we're going to send you a survey. You're going to have to very quickly, in a very specific time frame, because we're not going to give you all the hours to go listen to everything, but you have to come up with all 8 of these words very quickly, send it back in a survey. Your name is going into a hat where we're going to then go to the next phrase, give away $50,000 or more in giveaways. So you're going to win big at the end of the 8 weeks, but you have got to keep track of these words. So word of the day, money magnet. And we're going to give away coaching sessions. We're going to give away workshop and CD packages. We're going to give away Millionaire Maker books. We're going to give away financial filing cabinets. We're going to give away workshop seats, $2,000 seats. Might even give away a mentoring program to the big table, or a large piece of it. So you never know what we're going to give away, but it is over $50,000 of prizes. The only way you get to enter to win is to know these 8 words, which means you've listened to these programs and you know what they are. The other reason to call and get your strategist and call them today is to get in line for those money makeovers. We're doing 3 money makeovers, and they're not just money, they're cash machine makeovers. They're going to be picked in 2 weeks. So if you've not talked to your strategist, you've got to talk to them so your name gets in the hat for that. So there's kind of 2 name buckets going. One, to get selected for the makeover. We're doing week 5, 6, and 7. And the other at the end of week 8 is to make sure you know these 8 words. Actions for today. You're going to go to the reading room. You're going to re-listen to the CDs. You're going to make some money this week is your number 1 priority. You're going to work on your 120-day plan if that makes sense for you. You're going to work on expression of your power, which is another offering we're going to put up today. But you've got to be in action. Again, back to action. It's going to create an experience, which is going to give you evidence, which will create confidence, create certainty. Our goal for you in now 6 weeks left is to create some new money. This is all about new money, so pick today. Next week's homework is read Chapter 4. We're going on to modeling. Modeling is a very big call. Do not miss next week. People do not get this. It is so important. You miss next week's call, You will reinvent the wheel, which is one of your costliest mistakes in building a cash machine quickly. So we will be back on same channel, same time, talking about Chapter 4. We're going to do modeling. You're going to follow a very specific process to go find that model person, model company. Somebody's doing what you want to do. Do not reinvent the wheel, or you will be suffering slowly. So again, homework due next week. Confirm your skills and your idea. Share with 5 accountability partners. I want you to share with 5 people because I need you to have people out there who are supporting you. Again, read Chapter 4. Review the web pages, record a call, talk to your strategist, be in action. Don, is there any last announcement as we are heading to the end of our call for today?
Well, just want to reinforce for people they should call their strategist. If they don't know who their strategist is, just call into 877-7-GET-LOL, and you will be aligned with your strategist. This is the person you need to be faxing your completed form to for any of you, and it should be everybody on the call that would like to be the candidate for one of these 3 makeovers that Loral is going to be doing. That is an incredible opportunity. I wish I could put mine in there, Loral. So just get to your strategist, and they can help you do that. And if you're having any challenge about getting into action, also a good reason to call your strategist because action is what it's all about.
All right. So thank you again, Reading Room Week 2. We are very excited about bringing this to you. Stay in touch with us. Email us as much as you want. If you're not getting any response back, pick up that phone and say, I need to talk to somebody right now.
Thanks for listening to the Real Money Talks podcast. Your host has been Loral Langemeier, author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, money expert on Dr. Phil, CNN, CNBC, The Street TV, Fox News, and The View. Want to learn more about off-Wall Street investing, tax strategies, and multi-million-dollar business strategies? Visit liveoutloud.com/podcast for past episodes, show notes, and resources. For some special wealth-building gifts only for Loral's podcast listeners, visit liveoutloud.com/podcast gifts. Do you have a burning question for Loral? Visit askloral.com to submit your question, and it may just be covered on a podcast episode. So stay tuned and be sure to subscribe to get new episodes every week.